Welcome to Health 8. For the first quarter, it will be all about human sexuality. Lesson 1: Terms and Dimensions of Human Sexuality. For today's agenda, number 1: Identify the dimensions of human sexuality. Number 2: Describe the different terms in human sexuality. Number 3: Recognize the importance of having an intelligent decision concerning sexual behaviors. And number 4: Create a graffiti of your goals and self-reminders. As you continue to grow and develop, it is important that you know how to manage the crucial aspect of your personality, your sexual health. Education for human sexuality will help you make intelligent decisions concerning sexual behaviors and will help you grow into a mature man or a mature woman. Lesson 1: Gender and Human Sexuality. Gender identity belongs to the person who lives it, but one cannot deny that observers will make assumptions about us based on their understanding or comprehension of gender signals. Jamison Green, Becoming a Visible Man. So let us define the different terms. So what is sex? It refers to the biological differences between males and females, such as the genitalia and genetic differences. Sexualities. It is the quality of being male or female. It is the way in which we experience and express ourselves as sexual beings. So what are the kinds of sexualities? We have heterosexual, a person who is sexually attracted to the opposite sex. Homosexual, sexually attracted to the same sex. Bisexual, sexually attracted to either male or female. Pansexual or omnisexual, sexually attracted to all kinds of sexes. And asexual, a person with no sexual attraction to all kinds of sexes. Let us now define romantic attraction. Romantic attraction is a feeling that causes a person to desire a romantic relationship with a specific person regardless of sex. So it is just a romantic relationship which doesn't involve sex. So these are the kinds of romantic attraction. Halos kaparehas lang sila ng sexualities, ng kinds of sexualities. Okay? So, heteroromantic, a person is romantically attracted to the opposite sex. Homoromantic, romantically attracted to the same sex. Biromantic, romantically attracted to either male or female. Panromantic or omniromantic, romantically attracted to all kinds of sexes. And aromantic, a person with no romantic attraction to all kinds of sexes. Please don't be confused with sexuality and romantic attraction. Pag sexuality, it's a feeling that you have a desire to have sex with the opposite sex or the other sexes. Pag romantic attraction naman, you're just romantically attracted na walang involved ng sex. Kunyari, attracted ka lang sa kanya, gusto mo lang siya. Okay? So, don't be confused with sexuality and romantic attraction. Gender. It refers to the role of a male or a female in society, known as a gender role, or an individual's concept of themselves or gender identity. So these are the kinds of gender. We have intersex. It is a general term used for a variety of conditions in which a person is born with a reproductive or sexual anatomy that doesn't seem to fit the typical definition of female or male. So, kapag intersex ka, yung pagkakakilala mo sa sarili mo ay hindi akma doon sa anatomy or reproductive organ na meron ka. Kunyari, ikaw ay may reproductive organ ng male, pero Ang pagkakilala mo sa sarili mo, you're a female. So that is intersex. Non-binary. It is a gender identity that is neither exclusively masculine or feminine. Gender fluid. Denoting or relating to a person who does not identify themselves as having a fixed gender. Gender fluid, these are person na nagpapalit-palit ng gender. Cisgender relates to a person whose sense of personal identity and gender corresponds with their birth sex. For example, if you have a male reproductive organ, you consider yourself as a male. If you have a female reproductive organ, you consider yourself as a female. Transgender. Relating to a person whose sense of personal identity and gender does not correspond with their birth sex. Transsexual. A person who emotionally and psychologically feels that they belong to the opposite sex. Transsexual people may or may not undergo surgery and hormone therapy to obtain a physical appearance typical of the gender they identify as. So let us define sexuality as a total self. Sexuality refers to your total self or yung buong pagkatao mo. As you can see on the diagram on the left of the screen, you can see the different dimensions of sexuality as your total self. On the outer shell, it would be the physical self, which is the way you look as a man or a woman. And then below that is the mental self, the way you think as a man or a woman. And then below that is your social self, the way you interact with others, and under that is your emotional self, the way you feel about yourself and others, and yung pinaka nandun sa loob mo is your ethical self or the way you value your relationship. Sexuality also refers to your attitude and behavior towards yourself. Okay? As you can see on the diagram on the right, sexuality towards yourself, yun yung nasa gitna. And then, nakapaligid sa kanya is how you see yourself. Paano mo ba nakikita ang sarili mo? How you think of yourself. Ano ba ang naiisip mo sa sarili mo? How you love yourself. Mahal mo ba yung sarili mo? Paano mo ba minamahal yung sarili mo? And how you feel about yourself. Ano bang nararamdaman mo sa sarili mo? So, yung sexuality, nagre-refer din siya sa attitude and behavior natin, sa sarili natin. Hindi lang siya yung sa total self. Sexuality may also refers to your perceptions, feelings, and behaviors towards others. Okay, so how you see others, how you think others, how you feel about others, and how you love others. So hindi lang siya yung sa buong pagkatao mo, maging yung sa pakikitungo mo sa ibang tao. The way you see yourself is influenced by so many people. It is important to maintain good relationships with others. They will support you and give you confidence, provide companionship, and will keep you from being lonely. So, yung mga taong nakapaligid sa atin, nakaka-impluwensya siya, 'di ba? So, um, dapat pinipili natin yung mga magiging kaibigan natin na nasa paligid natin. Healthy sexuality also means taking high sense of responsibility for all your actions since this can affect your self-esteem, decision making, and behavior. So yung mga taong nakapaligid sa atin, nakakaapekto siyang maigi. Okay, sa ating self-esteem, sa decision making natin, and maging sa behavior natin. So dapat maging matalino tayo sa pagpili ng ating mga kaibigan. Maaaring kaibigan ang turing natin, pero hindi naman kaibigan ang turing sa atin. Healthy sexuality encompasses the following characteristics: self love, your acceptance of yourself; self knowledge, Your understanding of your feelings and your character. Self-confidence. Your awareness of the things that you can do well. Self-respect. Your regard for yourself as a worthwhile person. Self-expression. Your way of showing your individuality and expressing yourself as a man or a woman. Let's go now to gender role. It refers to a set of roles in characteristics and expectations of how a man or a woman should feel, think, and act as influenced by parents, peers, and society. So it is a set of roles and characteristics. Kung kunyari ikaw ay lalaki, so dapat ang ginagawa mo ay gawaing panlalaki. Kung ikaw naman ay babae, dapat ang ginagawa mo ay gawaing pambabae. Pero dapat ba laging ganoon? Gender equality. It permits man and woman equal enjoyment of human rights. So kung anong karapatan ng lalaki, ganoon din dapat ang may karapatan ng babae. So hindi lang sa babae at lalaki, maging sa lahat ng tao, dapat pantay-pantay at na-enjoy ng bawat isa ang human rights. So tumuko naman tayo sa life skills. So ito yung mga life skills na dapat nating matutunan at dapat nating mapag-aralan. First, assessing your health, making good decisions, communicating effectively, practicing wellness, setting goals, using refusal skills, evaluating media messages. Assessing your health. It means evaluating your well-being periodically. This includes your sexuality. Figure out what you can do to improve your health if it is not as good as it can be. So you always have to assess your health and well-being. Making good decisions. It means making choices that are healthy and responsible. You must have the courage to make difficult decisions and stick to them. Later on with the lesson, let us identify on how can we make good decisions. Communicating effectively. Communication skills help you avoid misunderstanding by expressing your feelings in a healthy way. This means if you listen to what people say, they will want to listen to you as well. So we always need to have a good communication skills. Next life skill would be practicing wellness. It can be accomplished through information about good sexuality. Kagaya ngayon, nag-aaral tayo ng ating human sexuality. So, nagpa-practice na tayo ng wellness. Next would be setting goals, or aiming for something that will give you a sense of accomplishment. Just be sure to be realistic with your target goal. Refusal skill. Ito ay isa sa mga life skill na importante ngayon. It is a way to say no to something that you don't want to do. This skill requires practice, but first, you must feel strongly about what things you want to avoid. Lalong-lalo na ngayon, sa mga kabataan, napakalakas na ng peer pressure. So kapag ito ay ayaw mong gawin, maging matatag ka na kung ayaw mo talaga. Evaluating media messages. Ito, napakadaming fake news na nagkalat ngayon. It is being able to judge the worth of media messages. It is a big challenge knowing that most media messages are very convincing. So yung mga fake news ngayon, pag binasa natin, very convincing siya. So dapat alamin natin kung yung source ba niya ay tama or hindi. So how do we make good decision making? So decision making. Let's go now to decision making. So paano ba tayo nakagawa ng isang magbuting desisyon? So ano ba ang decision making? It is a choice you make or act upon. So a good decision is a decision in which you have carefully considered the outcome of each choice. So tatandaan kapag ikaw ay nagdedesisyon, isiping mabuti yung magiging consequences nito. It is a skill that will help you make decisions based on your needs and desires. So, how do I make a good decision? So we have here the steps in making good decision. Decide. Always remember that. Number one, determine the problem. Ano ba yung problema natin? Number two, explore the alternatives. Ano-ano ba yung mga pwede nating choices na gawin para sa magiging solusyon doon sa problema natin? Consider the consequences. Ano ba ang magiging consequences? Ano ba ang maging kahihinatnan ng pagpili ko ng bawat choices na yon? Identify your values. Isa to sa mga mahalagang steps ng good decision making. Yung value dapat natin ay hindi nawawala sa pagkatao natin. Kapag alam nating masama yon, dapat ipagpatuloy nating layuan yon. And then, decide. So, kung naisip mo na yung mga alternatives and consequences and naayon naman siya sa value, sa good values and morals natin, so, let us now decide. And then the last one would be evaluate. So, kunyari, nakapag-decide na tayo. Tapos, after ng decision making natin, let us evaluate. Tama ba yung naging decision natin? Tama ba yung tama ba yung consequences natin? Umaayon ba to sa values natin? So, always remember, decide. For our first activity, the title is Graffiti You. On a half-size cartolina, write quotations, sayings, slogans, and so on that will describe and reveal your likes, passion, and aspect of your personality. After sharing this in class, you can post it on your bedroom walls and be inspired. We are now at the end of our slide. So, for our task 1, you have to jot down the important details found in this video. And for task number 2, you will do the activity number 1. So thank you and have a great day. Let us learn together.